Hey everybody, welcome to 24 Chambers of Film. I'm Steven, and today I got a retro movie review of the 2004 film Closer,
Hello, stranger. You.
written by Patrick Marber and directed by Mike Nichols, the great late Mike Nichols. And yeah, it stars Natalie Portman, Jude Law, Julia Roberts, and Clive Owen. It's a romance drama film. It follows these four characters and their relationships of falling in and out of love with each other. And I absolutely fucking adore this movie. I love this film. I think it's a masterpiece. It's a very influential film for me. So yeah, let's get into it. So a little history about this film is I rented it. I remember at Hollywood Video with another film, Garden State, which both films have Natalie Portman. I have a huge crush on her, especially back then. So I rented those movies and I watched them both. And both of these movies were key to my decision of being like, okay, this is what I'm going to go for. This is what I'm going to pursue. This is my plan A through Z, being a filmmaker, being a writer, director specifically. And yeah, and the rest is history. And I'm doing it, not at it's not at the level that I want to be at, but I'm not going to stop until I get to that level. I made a feature film, all that stuff, many short films. So yeah, it's definitely been very influential and inspiring these movies. But Closer is just a masterpiece, like I said. And I just it's one of the it's a film, it's a comfort movie at this point, even though you deal with a lot of heavy subject matters in it. It's very raw and brutal, but it's just a beautiful film. So before I continue on, there will be spoilers ahead. So if you have not seen this film, go watch it because it's fucking great, and then come back and finish this review so you can enjoy the rest of it. Because I'm gonna spoil the shit out of this movie. So yeah, let's get into it.
Why are you doing this?
Did you ever love me?
So the acting in this movie is just, I mean, 10 out of 10, top tier. I mean, there's no issues with the acting. It focuses on these four actors: Jude Law, Natalie Portman, Julia Roberts, Clive Owen. I mean, it's about them. It's based off a play, Patrick Marber's stage play, and he did a great job, by the way, adapting this movie to the screen. I thought you feel that it's a play, but that doesn't hurt it. Sometimes movies that are adapted from a play into the silver screen kind of doesn't translate that well, and it feels like something's not right. This movie, no issues with that. But yeah, anyways, the acting is great. To me, Natalie Portman is the showstopper in this movie. Her character of Alice is just so enigmatic, so captivating. She does great eye acting. Her eye acting is next level, top tier greatness, in my opinion. I'm just a fan of actors that can act with their eyes really well, and Natalie Portman's one of the best. And in this movie, she's doing it on another level, just emoting everything what she's thinking through her eyes. And it's also fascinating. You're just drawn to her face. Obviously she's a beautiful looking woman, but her character is just so enigmatic and so interesting, and she's a mystery. She's a mystery out of all these four characters. She's the one that is the hardest to read. So I think that naturally draws you in, especially by her performance, which just adds another layer of just, captivating you. But she's great. And then the next best is Clive Owen. Clive Owen is phenomenal in this movie. He's hilarious. He's brutal. He has a very aggressive approach to his character at times, like very aggressive when there's arguments and stuff. He's very commanding presence in this film, but he also has a good, sensitive side of his character that he shows very well. Great actor. He also has very intense eyes that I really like. But yeah, he's the second best in my opinion. And then I would go with Jude Law. He plays the biggest asshole in this movie. I think he's very, I guess, unlikable. I enjoy his character, but he's definitely unlikable. Out of the four, he's the most unlikable. He's the one, the catalyst of this whole shit train starting, the shit storms starting between all four of them. But he does a phenomenal job with the role. I mean, Jude Law's a great actor, but he really nails this role. And yeah, he does it. He plays it how it should be played, which is you're supposed to hate him, but you're also supposed to be with him on this ride, and he does a great job doing that. Julia Roberts is also great. She does a great job in this movie. I mean, when I first saw this movie, I was kind of blown away by the language that was coming out of her mouth, because this movie is very adult, and they say some very raunchy and crude things in this film that are very like, oh shit, I was not expecting that. And I definitely wasn't expecting to hear that come out of Julia Roberts' mouth, but she delivers it and she commits to it, and she does a great job. She has a great scene with her and Clive Owen where they're arguing, and she says some shit out of her mouth that was like, but she nails it and she knocks it out the park. Like I said, all these four actors really are clearly raising each other's game. It must have been a blast filming this movie, I feel like, because it was just like they were just probably having so much fun just acting off each other and being able to do these juicy meat and potato scenes of just like just great dialogue coming out. I mean, it must have been a blast. It must have been a blast for Mike Nichols to direct them and witness these actors perform to this high level. Natalie Portman and Clive Owen were nominated for the Oscars for this movie. They both didn't win. Natalie Portman won the Golden Globe, but she should have won the Oscar. This is her best performance, in my opinion. Better than Black Swan, even though she's great in Black Swan. To me, Closer is her best performance to date. She has many great performances, but I prefer Closer. I think she is just on another level. She just has this aura about her in this film. She's just I love characters that are enigmatic, and this character is like the best version of that. She's just so captivating. So let's get into the filmmaking. So the filmmaking, it's directed by Mike Nichols, is great. It's very subtle, but very powerful. There's a lot of little nice little signature flourishes in there. He does. It's not intrusive directing, not intrusive cinematography. Really well done. I mean, it looks gorgeous. The production value is beautiful in this film. I love the house of Julia Roberts and Clive Owen's character is so gorgeous. I mean, I want that house. It's a great looking. I think they call it a loft, but yeah, it's a badass looking house. I think it's just very spacious. I don't know. I just like the way it is. That would be like my ideal house, I guess, is the one from Closer that Clive Owen and Julia Roberts characters live in. The costumes are great, especially in the exhibition scene when they're all dressed up. Really, I really love the costumes. The music, that the song by Damien Rice, that choice to put that in the movie is so great. It opens the film and it ends the film. And just a little song. There's an Italian song that plays in the exhibition scene, like for Julia Roberts' character, who's a photographer, and it plays in the background. It's so well done. I don't know I can't remember the name of the song, but it's a great Italian song that I do have in my iTunes. I just don't know the name off the top of my head. Great song. The editing is something I really like. They do a very interesting thing. I remember it was kind of jarring when I first saw this film because the editing it jump cuts to time, like hard cuts or smash cuts too. And then eventually you start getting some dissolves, but like in the beginning, there's just like boom, okay, it's been like months later, or it's been 2 years later. It really, but without like giving you like a text on screen, you just kind of got to go with it. It's like, wow, now they're broken up. Oh, now they're together. I really dig that way of editing, and it really works really well for this film. So it was just a bold choice that I thought worked really well for this movie. So the editing, I know two people edited this film. It was, let me see, it was John Bloom and Antonia Vandermellen edited this film. They did a great job. I don't know if one of them edited it and then they had a second person come in to edit it, or they were working as a team throughout the whole thing, but they did a great job. It was very interesting choices, the way they edited the film, and I thought it paid off, in my opinion. Also, the writing by Patrick Marber is phenomenal. I mean, some of these dialogue sequences are just like great actor pieces for you to do a monologue or do a scene in a class. I mean, they're that good. It's just, I'm shocked that it didn't win the Oscar for best screenplay for that year.
You're taken.
You kissed me.
What are you, 12?
Was it nominated? I don't even think it was nominated. It was that fucking good. I thought it was a great script. But yeah, I the writing, no issues. I like the way the film plays out. Very interesting climax, and just very funny, very witty, very brutal at times, very honest. It just felt like an authentic portrayal of these four people's relationship and of them falling in and out of love. But yeah, Mike Nichols, just great job. It's just a great film late in his career. He only did one more film after this, which was Charlie Wilson's War, which is also a really good movie in my opinion. But Closer, man, this was if he would have ended his film on Closer as his last film, what a great last film that would have been. But yeah, his directing is impeccable, like all his movies. And if you haven't seen any of Mike Nichols's previous films, go check him out. I mean, he's a master director. I still need to see some of them, but the ones I've seen, he's just top tier director that I don't think gets enough credit for. It doesn't get talked about. I feel like he's kind of underrated nowadays. I know he's well regarded and well respected in the industry and all that, and I think cinephiles know that he's a badass when it comes to making films. But I feel like the younger cinephiles aren't really too familiar with his work, and yeah, you should check him out. He's a great filmmaker. All right, let's get into my favorite scenes. There's so many favorite scenes. The whole movie. Okay, there you go. That's my favorite scene. No, but I'm gonna try to break it. I'm gonna pick three just to keep it not too long. But I'm gonna start with the scene when they go to Anna's exhibition. Julia Roberts' character, she has a photo exhibition, or she's a photographer, and Clive Owen meets Natalie Portman for the first time. Their interaction is fireworks. It's so captivating, so palpable. The eye fucking is insane. They basically have a lot of sexual chemistry when they first meet. It's a film that's edging. It's just so good. I can watch it anytime in that, and it's being underscored by this Italian song that I mentioned previous, and it's just a perfect scene captured. I just think it's so well done, so well executed. Like their acting is just like I said. There's a lot of moments of them staring at each other, but what they're kind of thinking is it's amplified by the filmmaking and just the choices that they edit the film with for their acting. It's just great choices. They pick the perfect performance of the shot and everything. It's great. Well, great fucking scene. I can't get enough of it. I love watching that scene. There's like a hypnotic quality to it that I can't really comprehend, but that there is. And a lot of it comes from Natalie Portman, I think, and Clive Owen's doing a great job too. But Natalie Portman really takes the scene to the next level. Her, like I said, looking into her eyes and just the little things that she does with her tongue and just like her inflections. It's perfect. It's perfect. Same thing with Clive Owen. Not trying to take away anything from him, but Natalie Portman is definitely the one leading the scene, in my opinion. But it's also a funny scene too. They also have like I said, they just have great chemistry. My second favorite scene, oh man, I mean, okay, this is probably tied also for my favorite scene, is when Natalie Portman is she's stripping at a club after she's gotten broken up with Jude Law's character, and Clive Owens has been broken up with by Julia Roberts, and he's a mess, and he goes to the strip club, and he happens to run into Natalie Portman's character, and there she is, and he basically gets her for a private dance, and this whole interaction is just 10 out of 10. Some of the most captivating dialogue I've ever seen in a film. The performances by them is just so good. It's just like it's a treat for an actor. Like that's a scene that you will want to like cherish. I feel like if you're an actor, it's just so well done. Their dynamic, their interactions, the push and pull between them, like I said, everything, the great humor in it, just a lot of great moments. The whole thing is, I have no issues with the whole thing. The way Mike Nichols shoots it, he captures it in very great composition, great camera movements. I mean, it's some good zooms in there. It's just, it's a chef's kiss scene, in my opinion. It's probably my favorite scene in the movie. Not because Natalie Portman is in a bikini. That doesn't hurt, of course, but there's no nudity in there, nothing like that. But I'm just saying, like, it's just, and it's well lit. The production design on it is so cool. Has great colors of like pink, blue, purple, like crystal color. It's just a fucking great looking scene, great performed scene, great directed scene. Just everything. The song choice that she's dancing to that you hear in the club is just perfect in my opinion. But yeah, one of my favorite scenes ever in any film. And then my final favorite scene is the scene. Oh man, this is tough. There's so many good scenes. But I think the scene between Clive Owen and Julia Roberts when she breaks up with him is intense. The dialogue is intense. It's an actor's dream to be in a scene like that.
Answer the question!
Why are you doing this?
Did you ever love me?
It's so great, just the back and forth, the arguing from being happy to not being happy to being upset and everything. It's just a great scene that has a lot of meat and potatoes in it, and Clive Owen is brilliant in that scene. This is his best scene, I feel like, when it comes to bringing the emotion and all that stuff. So good. Julia Roberts is clearly her best scene in my opinion, and it's also cut with the breaking up of Jude Law's scene and Natalie Portman's breakup. The scene of Jude Law breaking up with Natalie Portman, that scene was great too. But their scene with Clive Owen and Julia Roberts is way more dynamic, way more intense, and it was super captivating. It never gets old. Like some of the shit that comes out of both of their mouths is just hilarious and absurd, and I loved every piece of it. Let's get into my rating. So my rating of this film is A 9.5 out of 10. It's that good. It's so fucking good. No movie's a 10 out of 10 in my opinion, but this comes close. Closer is a near perfect movie. I guess, you could always nitpick or anything like that, but really I have no issues. I love the ending. I know people have issues with the ending, that it maybe gets a little too absurd, and I don't think it's absurd. Maybe it just loses their interest near the last 20 minutes. I think everything, it fits well perfectly. It's very condensed, very tight. And there's also room for, there's ambiguity to the film that I really like too, as well, especially with the character of Alice and Natalie Portman's character, that I found very fascinating. But yeah, there's a lot of great moments in this film that just like, that work so well. But yeah, to me, it's a 9.5 out of 10. If you have not seen this movie, go do yourself a favor. Go watch it. If you like any films with romance and drama, those type of films, you're going to fucking love this movie. And if you like movies where actors get to show out, this is the movie to watch, because you're going to get 4 top tier great performances and an all-time great from Natalie Portman and Clive Owen, especially Natalie Portman. I know I'm beating the dead horse with her, but she's that fucking good in this movie. And yeah, I mean, you haven't seen it, you got to go watch it. It's an underrated film. It doesn't get enough attention. People know about it, but I think it deserves way more attention. This movie it's just a very unique romance film that doesn't get enough attention and deserves all the praise in the world. So if you haven't seen it, please go watch it and come watch this review. Let me know. We can geek out together. Leave any comments down there. Let me know what you think about it. Who was your favorite character? Who was your favorite performance? Do you agree with me? Do you think this is Natalie Portman's best performance like I do? I think it is. So let me know if you think I'm wrong. Let me know what you think it is. I think a lot of people will probably say Black Swan, which is a great performance, don't get me wrong, but I think this is her masterpiece when it comes to performances. Let me know what's your favorite Mike Nichols movie. He has a lot of great. The Graduate is another one that I'll definitely do on here for sure. But yeah, this movie is probably in my top 3 of Mike Nichols films. Like I said, I haven't seen all of his films yet. There's still a couple that I need to watch, but of the ones I've seen, this is definitely top 3, probably top 2. I love this fucking movie. But yeah, so leave a comment, like, and subscribe. We got more shit coming your way. This is 24 Chambers of Film. I'm Steven. And yeah, till next time. Peace.